gentlemen, to your left. Right. To your right. To your right. Straight ahead, straight ahead.
I have no vision on it.
Yes, we're most excited. Wait.
That was like that. I mean, he doesn't have too much flair.
Yeah. No, the guy was setting up the guy.
It's pretty.
All the way back, all the way over, pull back. Gorgeous. Can we see the front of the dress? Yes. Over a little. There is no front of your dress. Straight ahead. Thank you. Beautiful. And right next to him, right over here.
To the right, to the right.
And back down the center. There you go. And then eyes here like that. Pull that. Beautiful.
To the right again, to the right.
And looking ready.
Should I say like August 13th? Theaters? Okay. Hey everyone, it's your girl Bombshell. There'll be a free guy coming out soon, August 13th. I'm so excited for the world to see it.
And down the center. And next to him, hey Joe. Hey there. Joe down the end, down the center here. And Joe to your left on the end here. And right
To your right, to your right. Thank you.
Come on, Joe, I gotta get the flare out. There it is.
Yeah, you know the flare.
Joe. And gentlemen, to your left. And right down the center. You guys right down the center one more. Okay, I think I have this.
I'll tell you that much. I remember constantly seeing the announcements on the Free Guy social being like, dang it, they're pushing it again. But they know what they're doing. It's so worth the wait. It's so good to like be with such a big crowd and see smiling faces. And I've seen the movie once. I can't wait to see it again. That's how you know it's a good one. I mean, I don't know what's to love about it. I'm a little biased, but I mean, it's a little bit of everything. We've got comedy, it's adventure, it's action, it's a little romance. I mean, it's for the family. Everyone should watch it. So if you're looking for something to do, or if you're booked and busy, I'm telling you, find time. This is a good one. All right.
Okay, ready? Ita, you were ready for a little bit?
Okay, I think I would say when I watch this film, it's like more than what meets the eye. I think that everybody's going to interpret it a little bit different. When Guy discovers the world outside of the glasses, like for me, I see everything is more than what meets the eye. Life is about perspective and his relationship with Buddy, and you know how Buddy views the same world that Guy's living in, but how if you just trust. There's so many beautiful things out there, so it's not going to make sense to a lot of you until you see it, so just go watch it, baby. I mean, there's nothing better than having love and support like surrounding any project that someone works on, and for me, this was really exciting. I constantly am thanking Sean and Ryan for taking a chance on me. I'm very new into the acting world, and I mean, this film has hit it out the park. I am so excited for the world to see it. And being so new in my acting career, I just feel so lucky to have two people like Ryan and Sean directing me and having patience with me and believing in me. And I mean, they know what they're doing, and I can't say enough how grateful I feel to have this opportunity and be here to be talking about it.
Oh my God, it feels amazing. It's been delayed a couple of times. I finished my part, the recording of the orchestra, over a year ago, and I can't wait to see it on the big screen. Well, what is exciting for this for me about this film is that it's really the first film since the pandemic ended that's a really fun popcorn blockbuster style movie. It's so much fun, it has so much heart, and it's really the perfect film to see in theaters. And I'm so glad it's only being released in theaters to start with, because that's really the way that it should be enjoyed. Love conquers all, really is the heart of the movie. The main character starts off with a really kind of very limiting experience. He gets up every morning, goes to work, gets held up 12 times a day at his job at the bank. And it's not until he meets what ends up being really the love of his life that gives him the vision and the dream that there's more to life than just his existence. And it's really all about connection with another human being.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, it almost came out 2 or 3 times. It feels like I'm relieved, to be honest. I'm relieved that everyone can finally see this, and I feel like we've been talking about it for so long. It's nice that it'll finally be out here and see what we did. And I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's a really fun, just kind of a movie with a really nice message. So I'm excited for you to see it. Well, it kind of checks the action, comedy, romance boxes, all those. And it has a lot of heart. Sean, that's Sean's style, man. He's kind of all of his films and Stranger Things as well. I think they all have a lot of heart to them, and I think it's just a amalgamation of all these 3 sort of genres put together.
It feels great to have Free Guy actually come to movie theaters now. Even being on this red carpet is surreal. I haven't been at a premiere in a long time now that I think about it. And for it to be for Free Guy, it's a big deal. It's a movie we all have fun doing. Man, it's a big movie, man. It's romance, it's comedy, there's so much heart in it, it's action, and we got some crazy cameos. Not just people. You expect some random, really dope cameos in this movie. What makes it an awesome summer movie, not just the special effects, but like, everything I just named, it has all these different genres of movie in one. It's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. I don't know how they got away with doing it, but it's there. And it's big, and it's loud, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, look, I know we play one song throughout the movie, really, but it's still worth it. Mariah Carey, shout out to you, and Fantasy. We have 2 versions of the song in this movie. It's very interesting. But it's just a big summer movie because it's just a big movie. It's Ryan Reynolds, too. Come on, man.
honestly, and I mentioned this before, it's a lot of little nuggets in here, man, of messages about humanity and how, especially with everything going on now. I know we pushed this movie a few times, but now it awkwardly feels like the right time for people to see this. People are gonna like be happy when they leave the movie theater, and I think inspired by Guy and Buddy and everybody else in this film. One of the I think key messages is, and for me really that I love is that, and I guess it's a part of the video game world too, where like every time a guy dies, he gets right back up and try again the next day. So I believe that message is, as long as you're alive and as long as you can function, as long as you can get up, you can try to do something dope every single day. You can try to get better every day. And God does that. It's a whole montage of that I think is beautiful. So yeah, as long as you get up, go do what you dream of doing and try every day.
I mean, yeah, I'm so excited. You know, it's been crazy to have it get delayed and delayed. I'm just so happy it's gonna, the world's gonna finally get to see it. I think it's a great time for it to be coming out too. It's, really positive film. I mean, I wrote this movie. I mean, it was almost practically an autobiography. I felt sort of like stuck in a certain place in my life, and it's about like realizing that you can change your world, and it's really become this movie about hope and kindness, and yeah, so I think the power of hope, I think is what it's all about, and fun. I mean, look, the film looks like a big piece of candy. It's just like big, fun, big action movie that's really about something. As you'll see, all the actors just killed it. Brian made it so funny, so much fun. Sean just elevated it in such an amazing way. Yeah, it's just a fun action big summer popcorn movie, which is what I grew up loving. So I'm excited. I mean, well, look, I'm not totally convinced that we don't live in a video game. It's kind of how I came up with it. I kind of backed it. I mean, I'm a big gamer myself, so I kind of backed into it. I always sort of felt bad for the background characters in like big sandbox games, and I guess I kind of related to them. So I think everybody can kind of relate being in a world that's like beyond your control, and then also being a visitor in that world.
Oh, I mean, I think it's more timely now than it ever was. It's the movie is in and of itself just a fastball of joy, and it's so exciting to be a part of a movie that is non-IP, not a comic book movie, not really based on anything other than an original idea. And they're the kinds of movies that I went to as a kid, and my hat's off to Disney and 20th Century for taking the time and investing in a new concept. Especially a big one like this, which is a big swing, and the early reactions have been incredible. So we could not be happier. We're so thrilled. Well, it's like I remember when I saw Back to the Future as a kid. It was like one of those movies that just like immersed you in a world and blew your mind, and that's what this film does. It really takes you somewhere else, and it leaves you walking out of the theater with a huge grin on your face. And I just kind of miss that feeling. There's it doesn't happen as often as I think we'd like, and particularly over the last 16, 17 months, it's been pretty crazy. So I'm really excited for audiences to get a chance to go and enjoy this. Well, I mean, the movie has a lot of themes that I think resonate with people. For me, it's a little bit about when we band together and come out of the shadows. You could do anything if you're unified agents of change, and like that's sort of what this movie is about. Is about people who are in the background getting to step into the light and make a difference. And I think that really, particularly in the society we're living right now, is pretty resonant. So.
We made this movie almost 2 years ago, and the whole point of it was just a good time at the movies, a joyous audience experience with some optimism and maybe an antidote to very cynical times. Little did we know that in the interim, times would have become even more, frankly, troubling, depressing, cynical. So to make a kind of crowd-pleasing action comedy with big heart, that was always the goal, but I feel like it's maybe more needed now than ever before. Well, I know when I go to a summer movie, what do I want? I want spectacle, I want laughs, I want heart. And I feel like if we did our job right, Free Guy delivers on all three fronts. Well, the whole job of being a director is how you blend tone and how you combine the elements. So this movie needed to be more than action. It needed to be more than just funny or warm. And so in every scene, I'm kind of looking at how to keep that balance right. A good time at the movies. I want them to take a good time at the movies, and I want them to take these themes of optimism and the possibility of hope.
Dude, I'm really excited. I've been waiting a long time, obviously. I'm more just excited for people to see the movie because it's really good, you know? Like sitting on this eggshell of this big bomb for, you know, like a solid year, right? It's just, I'm excited to finally get it out there. Well, I think I've seen a lot of movies, man, and this is hands down one of the first actual positive, legitimate representations of gaming culture in a really long time. Like, there are a lot of movies that, you know, do gamers dirty, and this is one of the most accurate, like, actual depictions of gamers, like, in nowadays. I mean, everything, bro. Like, so first off, I mean, there's literally the perfect combination of action and comedy. You got Ryan Reynolds who's going to take care of the entire time with all the jokes, and then, you know, there's like just enough romance, dude, enough to like kind of keep it like a little interesting, but it doesn't take over the story at all, the main storyline. So it's dope, man. It's perfect.
I mean, I've seen the film a whole bunch of times, but I can't. It's crazy how long all of us have been waiting to watch this with the crowd, and particularly such a crowd-pleasing movie. That it's just bizarre that it's been done and just waiting. So it's a pretty awesome feeling to finally see it, you know, with the real crowd. Well, I think it's a story about somebody who's trapped in a life that he feels like he can't get out of, and obviously goes to extraordinary measures to get out of this loop that he's stuck in. So I think that's something that's familiar to all of us. You know, that idea of, do we have any control over our lives, or, you know, can we change our own lives for the better? So I think that's a very strong theme that runs through it. That's inherent to the concept of the movie. That's a good one. There's a couple of others, but you know, I think there's a very literal message about, you know, treating each other well online. You know, it's a kind of a topical message in terms of the way people treat NPCs in the game is obviously a fill-in for the way they treat each other online. So I don't want to spoil the movie, but you'll see how that works out in the film. So that's another specific one. Well, first of all, I feel like it blends adventure, comedy, and heart extremely well, almost shockingly well. Having worked on a lot of movies, it's very rare that you get something that's both a good action movie and is also funny and also has heart. It doesn't happen that often, you know. You know, the only other movie I've worked on like this, I think, is Men in Black. You know, Ready Player One is an obvious point of comparison, but it's not. This is a much funnier, you know, it's much more of a comedic film. So I think it's pretty rare, and I think, you know, Sean and Ryan, you know, it's like the perfect mix of sensibilities. So it's weird how perfect a summer movie it is. It's absolutely entertaining from start to finish. It's, you know, a big action movie. It's a funny movie. It's got a sci-fi concept to it. I mean, it's kind of, other than being a pre-branded, you know, superhero film, it's pretty much got everything. So I can't think of a better movie to see in the summer.
Guy, this world, it's a video game.
Oh my god! Oh! Mondays, am I right, Joe?
You said it, guy.
The movie is just a fastball of joy. I'm so excited to be a part of a movie that is an original idea. We could not be happier. We're so thrilled. The movie uses the video game world as a vehicle to tell a larger story. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's a really fun movie with a really nice message.
Man, it's a big movie. It's romance, it's comedy, there's so much heart in it, it's action. It's kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
We're doing great. That's sort of what this movie's about. People who are in the background getting to step into the light and make a difference.
I'm thrilled that we're going to be able to share what we made with everyone. We can't wait to experience it with you.
It's the first time I've ever driven a car before.
I really wish you'd mention that. Yeah.
It feels incredible to be in London for the premiere of Free Guy. Even though it's raining, it's honestly, this film is so joyous, and to be able to kind of bring it to the big screen and have many people experience it together is, I feel like I've been craving this for like a year and a half. So yeah, I feel incredibly lucky. Yeah, so I play two characters. One of them is Millie, and she lives in the real world, and she has created an avatar called Molotov Girl, who kind of navigates the game Free City. And she meets this character called Guy, and Guy thinks he is a real person in the real world, but slowly comes to the realization that he's actually a background character in an open world video game. And it kind of spirals from there, really. Yeah. It's amazing. I always go, shall I say something terrible? But he's honestly, like, he's so wonderful. Like, what you see is what you get, you know? I even, before meeting him, I was like, is he really that nice? Can he be that nice? But he is. And he's incredibly generous, charming, hilarious, and really created, you know, a really kind of safe, fun space for everyone to kind of play around with on set. So I feel very lucky that this was my first experience. Yeah, it really was. It took me a good few weeks to kind of get over that. I was incredibly intimidated, you know, having come from a lot of television. I'd always kind of told myself, oh, there are film actresses and actors, and there are TV actors and actresses. And then when I got to set, like, I realized, you know, it's enormous. The sets are enormous, and everything is just on a much bigger scale. But how you prepare, the people involved, you know, all the meat and bones of it is still the same. So once I got over that, it was great. I would say get your bums to the theatre immediately and watch Free Guy. If you're like me and are looking for a couple of hours of sheer joy and happiness, this film will give you that, I promise you. I dare you not to have a good time. Yes, I mean, I've been craving it. The theatre is something I've missed so much, and you know, I feel very fortunate that Free Guy was one of the films that's kind of held out and wants, you know, people to be all in the same space and experiencing this together. So there's nothing like it, you know.